Marian Walsh, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you this morning and to actually meet face to face, I think, for the first time.
I think so. Nice to meet you, Paul, and thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Now, look, you're absolutely wonderful. I have to say this in relation to Powdermills Club first. You are the president of Powdermills, and Powdermills has done really well to get members to sign up again for this coming year to renew their membership. And I think that's a terrific thing. And you're the president of the club. And tell me, what on earth has you so keen, so enthusiastic about Toastmasters?
Well, first of all, thanks for all your kind words. I really appreciate that. I am very proud of our club. I think just to kind of answer first of all about getting members to sign up, we've a really good community of members, and this year's committee are fantastic and very enthusiastic. They've done really good work in the background. There's a good club environment. I think everyone's very friendly and encouraging. It's a nice warm atmosphere. I personally, that's what I like about it too. I think to answer the second part of the question, I joined back in 2016. I think I was a little bit more introverted than I would like, a bit afraid to speak up in a crowd. And I did a little bit of research, found my local club, and luckily enough, there was an open night the following week. So I decided to come along, see what it was about. And I knew from that very first meeting that same atmosphere and that kind of warmth that just really suited me. So I think that's for me what I like so much about Toastmasters, is that kind of welcoming environment that you can learn in.
Well, you came in, you loved the welcoming. That was though in 2016, and you stayed. What has kept you on? Why you need a certain amount of keenness and satisfaction in order to stay, don't you?
I suppose I've learned a lot from it. So one of the reasons I joined was my job was changing at the time, and I knew I was going to have to do more presentations, trainings, speak a lot more in public. So Toastmasters, as you know, offers a number of education programs. I'm doing the leadership development pathway at the moment, and I'm finding that really good. And each time you finish one, there's a new one to learn and develop on. So it's been a good source of education for me, a good source of development work-wise for sure. But then I also find that in my personal life, it gives a bit more confidence. And I think the more you practice speaking, and the more speeches you do and roles you fulfill, the more confidence you gain in your ability to do it. So I think that's what's kind of kept me going as well, is there's just so many different paths and different things to learn.
God, you're a great marketer or advertiser for Toastmasters. Look, you mentioned personal. Tell us 3 things about yourself that nothing to do with Toastmasters. What are your interests or something? 3 things people might know about you, or things that only the club knows about you. So tell us about you, yourself.
I am, let me see, I'm an only child, which people tend to find surprising, I think, because once you know me, you can't get me to shut up. And there's a bit of a preconception that people that are only children are quieter. So yeah, people are usually surprised to hear that about me. What else? I went back to finish my education about a year after starting Toastmasters. I went back and finished my my professional qualification. So that was, I think I had been 10 years out of college, so it was a big step for me, and it was great to do it and finish it. And then
Hey, let me interrupt you for a second. What are you professionally qualified in?
I'm a qualified lawyer. I work in a company in Cork. And then I
do you specialize in any aspect of law? Are you a generalist, or you a corporate lawyer, or what do you do?
I'm a corporate lawyer. I work in-house in a company, so a lot of commercial kind of company law stuff. Yeah, more interesting than it sounds. And I suppose interest-wise, then I off the top of my head, I think I really like baking, unfortunately, because once you bake it, you have to eat it. Counteract it then as best I can with some exercise and trips to the gym and things like that. So, yeah.
And are you somebody who watches the Great British Bake Off? Would you?
I do love it. I'm actually someone that watches very little television though. So I haven't seen much of it, but that's exactly up my street now. I would love that kind of television, absolutely. Yeah.
And look, since we're both in Toastmasters, have you got any ambitions? Now, you've been 4 years in. Are you going to stay? And what if you're going to stay, what are you going to do over the next 10 years?
I think I'm thinking a little bit more short term at the moment. I'm enjoying the presidency very much. Like I said, fabulous committees and really engaged members. Some are newer, some are more experienced. And just seeing what we can do with the club, because it's such a strange, unusual time for all the clubs. I mean, there's obviously benefits to it where we're learning speaking skills online, but I would just like to try and find our feet and do the best we can online, and then I suppose just continue to learn. There's always something new members, new education pathways, and just keep learning and developing for sure.
One more curiosity. Like, how we all have favorite phrases, quotations, mottos, mantras, whatever. Have you got one that you like a lot yourself?
A favorite mantra or quote?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact quote. The idea is kind of feel the fear and do it anyway. But that's not the exact quote I'm thinking of, but that's the concept. So I'm going to give you a concept. Is even though you might be afraid to do something, to just dive in. It's often not as hard or as scary as you think it might be from the outside. It's kind of I often have that in the back of my mind, that thought.
Well, I have to recommend to people that they go to the Facebook page of Powdermills Club in Ballincollig in Cork, and they read the piece that you wrote there, the phenomenal photograph, and the fact that Toastmasters helped you to make your wedding speech,
Oh, yes,
which
absolutely.
I think that's a great ad for Toastmasters, isn't it?
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that before Toastmasters. And I can't say I was still nervous, of course, but I did it and I was happy with it. I made sure that I went first so that I was done and dusted. But I did it. I was very proud of that. Yeah, I couldn't have done that before Toastmasters. Absolutely.
Well,
and thank you for the kind words about the Facebook page as well.
oh, Marian, it was so easy to say good things. It was so good. But thank you so much for coming on today and for this wonderful chat with you. And I want to wish you a great year and a great time with your wonderful members. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.